Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to raise the alarm that we are in the early phase of an economic cancer that we are importing from China. And this is quite a serious matter. And to understand what I'm talking about and the implication, let's just watch on. Today's talk is about China exporting its economic biggest problem. And I call it an economic cancer to Singapore and in Malaysia, because I see it in both countries in a massive way. So China right now, its biggest economic problem is its massive bloodletting competition and competitive landscape to the point that it's causing massive deflation. And right now, it's exporting that across the world, especially first to Singapore and Malaysia, then the rest of ASEAN, and then in particularly to the rest of the world. So we are now in this early phase, and let me explain why this is so. So China now is experiencing a very painful economic deflation. Now, deflation is defined as a severe price decrease. And many of you will say, Mr. Loo, how can price decrease be a bad thing? Oh, it can be, right? It can be when economic deflation just have sustained price decrease and nobody makes money. And as a result, the rest of the economy suffers. So right now in China, they are seeing 10 consecutive quarters of economic deflation. And right now, in the last quarter, they barely see a 0.2% increase, barely, and I will consider that a nuance. But the producer price index continued to fall, negative 2.1%. And right now, 34% of their companies are now zombie firms, right? That means just a half-dead kind of hovering around. And Bloomberg report that 51 of the 67 tracked consumer items have fallen in price for the last 2 years. And this is economic suffocation. And it simply means that factories are churning out products that they can't sell profitably. Wages are stagnating and even possibly falling. And this is a cash hemorrhaging environment right now. The Chinese came out with a very interesting term. It's called 内卷. Now, it's a very cheap Chinese term, but in English, it's called involution. I'll be frank with you, I've never heard this economic term before, but involution means that there is a death spiral of over-competition. So right now in China, it's a brutal bloodletting competition where company fights massively bloodletting price cuts. And as a result, they earn less. The workers have to work more for declining pay. Businesses now have to chase market share at any cost. And as a result, many companies just simply lose money. And this is really very bad because this is what I call an economic burnout, where competition is cannibalistic rather than creative. So there is a price collapse right now, evidence of internal implosion. You look at the electric vehicle, BYD prices has came down by 27%. Housing have came down by 27%. Fresh produce such as pears have came down by 31%. Consumer wine went down by about 29%. Rentals has fallen by 9%. And basically is simply bloodletting. The list of items that are falling, is like 2 pages long. And I look through all the data. The list is still expanding. So this is a serious business graveyard, what I call a corporate meltdown. Analysis of 9,000 listed companies revealed 25% operating at losses, and investments are collapsing, and many sectors are just locked in with a race to zero pricing. We're not talking about zero profit. We're talking about zero pricing. That means they're even giving things free in order to garner for market share. So price war is now basically default kind of environment, and Chinese corporations are just simply trapped. And they've been trapped for many years in this kind of environment. When I was in China for the visit early this year, I saw that with my eyes. Bubble tea, 1 yuan, that's 20 cents, okay? 20 cents Singapore dollar. Chinese bubble tea, 1 yuan, massive bloodletting. It's like just garner for market share. As a result, many people order and they never go and collect. They have just so many cups lying all around. For workers, it's a story of economic exhaustion, right? We have got many case study. There's this Yang Zifeng says that my salary was cut 35%. I tried to start a micro business selling online, but the margin disappeared within months. Everybody is doing the same, racing to the bottom. Erica Chen, a lady, says that both my husband and I were tech executive. Now we are live streamers competing with thousands of others. The platform takes 30%. We work 12 hours a day for less than what we made as intern. Guo Fang says that our family income was half, no more restaurants, no vacation. We watch prices fall, but our savings buy less future security. Tomorrow feels poorer than today. This is the environment right now in China, and I think we are not over-exaggerating. So some of you all might ask, but Mr. Loo, how can the GDP continue to climb, yet people are still suffering? Well, GDP records gross domestic product. It records the top line. It doesn't record the bottom line. So it doesn't capture the essence of whether the environment is profitable or not. So companies right now and factories right now turn predators. And you know what they're doing right now? They're exporting it. So because they can't make money domestically, they're exporting all these goods at low prices. We call this dumping. So they are massively dumping things that they cannot sell profitably locally, and they are dumping it globally as well. That's why today you can buy incredibly cheap things at Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, whatsoever. Just insanely cheap. And that's great for consumers. But is it great for businesses in the long run? So I call this an economic cancer. Now, if it stays in China, good. But no, they're not. They're now exporting it globally. In Singapore, we see it in a massive way. You look at all the restaurants, the shops, okay, the supermarket companies right now. Oh, wow. You see them coming out in massive way. And they are just having bloodletting. And what they do is they fly their staff over, work for a few days, a few weeks, whatsoever, set up everything, and then they go back. They just could rely on whoever is on the ground back in their company and do this. So right now we're seeing thousands of Chinese companies and factories setting up shops all over ASEAN. In Singapore, we see a lot. In Malaysia, even more. And right now we have got Shein, Temu, Meituan, all these are coming in with zero margin business model, trying to capture market share at all costs. And of course, food and beverage, we love them. The food is nice. The retail is at great prices. They are undercutting local businesses, and they are willing to do it because in China it's even worse. Singapore and Malaysia are economic frontline. Right? It's very easy for them to come here for one simple reason. The environment is Chinese friendly. We speak Chinese, they speak Chinese. Culturally, very easy for them to survive. The retail sector in both online and offline, massive bloodbath right now. Massive bloodbath. Food and beverage, massive bloodbath. Manufacturing, massive bloodbath. And even real estate, they're coming to develop real estate and things like that. So it's a very massive bloodbath, and I don't think this is going to stop. Right? I'm not even sure how to stop this or prevent this. I think for consumer, it's really a short-term pleasure, but for the economy, it's a long-term pain. So right now, across the board, we can get consumer products at very, very good prices, right? And we are very thankful. I'm not sure to them or to the environment for such great prices, and their operational efficiency is insane. Have you seen Hai Di Lao, how operationally capable they are in running their F&B? It's really, really very good. The Chinese supermarket, the bubble teas, wow, they're just insanely good. The technology is good. The people is good. And I think that if they transfer some of this technology locally, we have got some enhance in productivity and better product selection and convenience. That's all good, right? But when it becomes bloodletting, competition, compression, reducing tax revenue and wage growth, all this deflationary pressure now is being exported. I really consider this an economic cancer, and I think we are in a stage 1 or stage 2 of it. There are countries already at stage 4. Okay, and now they are exporting it, so we're now infected with a stage 1 or stage 2 economic cancer. An economy can bleed to death on discount. Okay, and what is consumer victory today can become an economic weakness for tomorrow. And there's no chance, no way our domestic businesses can compete with them. No chance. Even Beijing government is trying to respond to this. He basically trying to crack down on destructive price war with capacity control measure, set aside some money to stimulate local economy and stimulate local consumption and things like that. But once this goes spiral, it's very difficult to address. So I call this economic cancer because I think it's most apt, because it is a very silent, undetected, right? Very in the beginning, the virus just enter or the disease just grow, a few cells here and there, suddenly it looks, nobody will go and detect. And gradually, it becomes wider. And suddenly we didn't realize that, it's just a spread, not just from this sector, it's spread to other sector. Okay. And once you go to other sector, you just destroy all the healthy businesses around. And eventually the whole country is few of them. And then they just eat up and massive destruction. Now, I personally is half-hearted about it because number one, as a consumer, I really enjoy those stuff. Number two, I'm really kind of worried that become massive destruction in a level that we're seeing that in China right now. Well, how should we respond? Well, it's a really very difficult balance. Okay. I think if I'm the government, I'll find it very difficult. But I think there should be some kind of anti-competition law when it's destructive. And I think there's some form of economic watchdog in this process as well. No right or wrong. I don't think Singapore as an open economy will we ever have to enforce such kind of law. But now I think it probably require us to take a look at this. I think these are early days. We haven't reached bloodbath level yet, but it is coming. Some sectors are experiencing it. I think that it is necessary to rein in some of this kind of unhealthy competition. So I would seriously be more concerned and tread on this carefully. I don't know what you all think. Okay, is this something we all enjoy and just close our eyes and just let it happen, or I'm just over exaggerating like what some of you all might think? And many times I'm right, and by the time it came to pass, it's too late, right? So let's watch on this development and let's see what will happen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for a live stream. Bye-bye.